Tuesday, the price of silver fell by more than 8%, which was worse than last Friday's big smackdown. This was one of the worst losses in years. Let's talk about what went wrong and why silver's price should be hopeful about the future. Let's go on an adventure. Yes, it has been a terrible slaughter for every kind of metal. There is no other way to say it. The price of silver has dropped a lot today. In some ways, this kind of behavior is to be expected, but the recent drop has been very sharp. You know how it always seems to go up a little more when it goes down than when it goes up? That's what I would call consolidation. The price has gone down a lot. People are selling in a panic right now. The markets are clearly in panic mode when it comes to selling and making money. So, in every way, this isn't surprising to us. Just before the market closes, here's what's happening on the tape about the prices of precious metals. Gold fell more than 5%, or $232.10, to $4,125. Gold is still in the $4,100 range. Gold is doing very well right now, while silver is down 7.4%. Gold has dropped $3.88 to $48.57 right now. It easily went over the $50 mark. I do think it will come back though, and I think it will come back soon. Everyone. Palladium dropped 6.27%, and palladium platinum dropped more than 5%. Rhodium, platinum, and palladium all went down. This is the time for everyone to buy. Take a look at these huge smackdowns all around you. I haven't looked at many sites yet, but Summit Metals is probably going to be very fair. You could still go to Summit Metals to see if they have any deals for you though. You can also see for yourself how great their customer service is by clicking the link below. You should also tell them that Uncle Sal sent you. Because silver is such a volatile metal, this kind of thing shouldn't surprise you. I was a little surprised by how much it rained today. But really, why is this going on? I will be talking about two works. One gives an interesting view on the current situation and the reasons why gold and silver prices have dropped so quickly. This is an article by Brian O'Connell. Investors in precious metals like gold and silver made a lot of money in 2025. Which was a good year for people who want to spread out their investments and have some safety nets. As I've said many times on this channel, we've been very lucky so far in 2025. And this is the kind of thing we might expect. Once more, this is just one of those things that happen, and we have to deal with it as it happens. We had a bad day today. The benchmark SPDR Gold Shares ETF says that gold's value has gone up by 60% this year, after going up by about 56% the year before. But this doesn't mean that the value has gone up. The cost has gone up. Its value can be measured in money, but that's not all there is to it. The price of silver has gone up a lot, 62.6% in the last year and 78.4% so far this year. But the prices of precious metals have been going down for the past week. Silver is down 5% and gold is down 2%. That happened earlier, as expected. We could see that it took a much bigger hit today, dropping by 8% or more. Also, investors' investments in precious metals have changed. Daniela Sabine Hawthorne, a senior market analyst at Capital.com, says that the upward trend in gold and silver seems to have slowed down at the start of the week. It's not surprising that the market turned around, because it had gotten pretty crowded and was running a little hot for both markets. Hawthorne has said that commodities investors shouldn't panic yet, even though gold and silver are having problems right now. There will most likely be a lot of profit taking today because both gold and silver were ready for a correction. The fundamentals haven't changed, though, because long-term support is still there. Even though there had been good news about trade, the rally's strength over the past month may have been too much, making it more likely that it will fall again. The recent drop in gold and silver prices is not just because of that. One reason is that the unexpected change in last week's higher margin requirements on the Shanghai exchange is affecting the prices of gold and silver. This has led to a sell-off that started in Asia and has spread to the rest of the world, especially in the futures market. Some of the current rally may have been caused by speculation, since the retracements we're seeing are so steep. Another thing that is causing the price of silver to go up is a lack of physical supply, especially in relation to the LBMA. This shortage hasn't gotten any better yet, and it may be making investors lose faith. Elliott thinks that a rally driven by a lack of physical goods would keep going, even if there was a big sell-off that drove out weaker hands and speculators. Right now, it isn't affecting platinum prices, but other metals markets are feeling the effects of the political tensions between the US and China. Australia has finished making deals for rare earths. In my opinion, that's also a big step forward. That might have played a role, but Kitco is also covering the very important and attention-grabbing severe volatility in gold and silver prices, which are experiencing their biggest one-day drop in 4.5 years, and as a result, getting a lot of attention. Analysts say that both precious metals and markets could go down more, but they are both still on solid, long-term upward paths. So, that's what is going on there. There has been a lot of selling pressure during the North American trading session, which began when the London market opened. Some analysts say that gold and silver were sold off because people were becoming more hopeful about the US-China trade conflict and the fact that Japan's Nikkei 225 index hit an all-time high. Others say that the market's recent rapid rise in price is mostly because of technical selling. TD Securities experts say that the recent drop in the price of gold is only because people are taking profits. Our positioning screens are very fast on many fronts. Algos won't buy more no matter how much you offer. The amount of leverage in the risk parity and vol control funds is almost at the point where it makes sense. The uncertainties in the over-the-counter market have probably worn out macro funds. It's amazing that the central bank's bid has gone down. There have been no problems with central banks buying things. The retail sector is still having problems, and Chinese buyers are on strike. The best thing to do is make money. There might be a stop to buying, but you can still sell because of it. Someone left a comment on my video earlier today that hinted at it. So, it's an interesting site. Earlier today, I made a video about gold that was shown on Bill Maher's late-night talk show. You should watch that video. There is a link to this video at the very bottom. Fawad Razakzada, a market analyst at City Index and Forex, said in a report released on Tuesday that today's sell-off was unavoidable because of how much the market has gone up this year. After the record-breaking run, investors have started to take profits whether they wanted to or not. Some have wondered why it took so long, given the high number of purchases in the past few months. There is real selling pressure for the first time in what seems like forever, because people are taking profits and closing long positions. I agree with you on that. Also, I'll explain that we should think of making money as a natural part of a market system. Yes, I get it. The natural market is now. I mostly think about this. One could also say that repressive actions are happening. There is still a chance. But today's paper, silver trading numbers, should be interesting to watch, compared to the 977 million ounces that changed hands after Friday's smackdown. How much more could be sent this way? Of course, it's just paper silver and not the real thing. But remember, everyone, that the basics are still the same for silver. as I've only hinted at in a few of these pieces. Believe it or not, silver is still doing well. Also, I think we'll talk about $50 silver again, maybe very soon. I can't see much more selling pressure at this point, even though we may see it drop or level off. The Federal Reserve is going to meet soon, and they are expected to lower interest rates by another quarter point. I don't think they will lower the rate by half a point at the next meeting. I haven't looked at the probability statistics in a while, so I don't know what to say about that. But things are still going on. There are also other geopolitical problems. There is still no set date for a meeting between Trump and Putin. Even though the situation in Gaza eventually calmed down, it did get worse again. So, how much longer will this last? I'm not sure. That said, there isn't much talk about it right now, because things are calm in both Gaza and Lebanon. There have been a lot of explosions in that area in the last week or so, but there are still some things that are not clear about the world. Also, inflation is still a problem. The Federal Reserve is increasing the M2 money supply, so keep that in mind. Quantitative easing with a twist. Also, silver is still in a backwardation phase. There is a difference of about $1 between the futures price of silver and the spot price. That means that silver is being used to make up for the difference, which means that the LBMA is probably still under some pressure. I think it will. Things should calm down soon. Because of that, prices might stay the same for a while. I think that stabilization will stay above $40 though. I know it's crazy to say this right before the markets close, but it's still $48.59 right now. But that's how things are right now, everyone. To be honest, I think we're still doing great if we can stay above $45. I also think that we will talk about $50 again before the end of the year. That's how I see it. Please tell me what you think in the space below. I really hope that you got something useful and educational out of this video. Please help me by liking this video, sharing it, leaving a comment, and subscribing. I really appreciate your time and attention.